Hello and what is up everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, we are back with another Hot Toys unboxing and review video. Today we are featuring the great Obi-Wan Kenobi from his own series Kenobi. This figure was released a couple of months ago. He took a long time to be released, and there was because of some changes that were made to the final product, which we will obviously review throughout this whole video. Very excited to get this unboxing done. Ewan McGregor making his return as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I thought that he was great. The series on its own wasn't the greatest, but I thought him portraying Obi-Wan was as good as ever. And again, I cannot wait to take a look at this figure itself, as I really liked a lot of the promo images for the final product when they were released a couple of months ago by Hot Toys. If you guys are interested in purchasing your own Obi-Wan Kenobi, I will include the link to Sideshow Collectibles on the description of the video. I do believe there is a wait list right now for him, but still in all, I will include the link if you guys are interested. So with that being said guys, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Okay guys, we get to the box itself. So as you guys can see, we get the regular Star Wars cover. So we get a black background, pretty much with an image of the figure. Now we get the older version of Obi-Wan Kenobi because of that older head sculpt, which was an absolute horrendous job by Hot Toys. I am so glad that they changed it, but I guess they didn't have time to change the cover on the box. So we get a Star Wars logo, the typical coloring, which is kind of like this silver type of coloring to it. We do get a red colored banner. I am shocked about the banner. I thought it would be blue. Obviously, being a Jedi, I thought that they would use blue, but instead they used the red coloring for a Sith character. And as you guys were able to see right there, an image of Obi-Wan with a stormtrooper. Shocked again because of the red coloring, but I'm guessing they want to continue the same trend that they did with Vader and the Inquisitors. All those three figures had a red coloring banner as well, so I'm guessing they just wanted to keep that trend, but still a little bit surprised about that. On the back side, we continue with the banner. This time the black colored line pretty much on the back, and then we get warning illegal information, the name of the figure, and a DX logo, as well as this figure is a deluxe one. And then on the left side, we get an amazing image of Obi-Wan still on that banner with his robe on him. It looks amazing. The head sculpt is still the old one, not the new one, and pretty much the black background to finish off this whole box. So not a lot of surprises, just the red coloring on the banner, but it's pretty much your typical Star Wars design. Not any issues with it. I guess it looks pretty cool. Okay, dude, they've done it again. So with the Vader figure that they did for this specific series, they had a red kind of shading background along with some really cool images, and they done the same thing here. So we get pretty much Obi-Wan with Vader and all of the Inquisitors. We get the Star Wars logo and the name of the figure, but this, I guess it's a blue shading, right? It's kind of like if the lightsaber is pretty much just shining the whole box itself. It looks absolutely amazing. I can't tell you guys how great that looks. On the back, on the right side, we get an image of a logo of Star Wars and the name of the figure. So this is where the figure is going to come out. It comes out through the right side. On the back side of the box, we get again warning illegal information. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is Tatooine. On the background, the flooring is like a desert look to it, so I think it's Tatooine. But if you guys don't mind, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too good when it comes to planets for Star Wars. And then on the left side, we continue that same background of the left and right. Again, it's kind of like this, if I can call it, blurry background to it, but it looks so good. The coloring is absolutely amazing. I had said whenever I did the Vader unboxing for the specific series that they had done the best box cover I have ever seen. This one is up there. I can go 1A, 1B, or 1 or 2, but this is as good as it gets. Props to Hot Toys. They have done an amazing job with this main cover, so we are definitely off to a good start. I really like what I'm seeing. Okay, and another great background, Lord have mercy. So we get this kind of wallpaper. But it's amazing. It's pretty much the name of the figure and then a quick description of the character itself. It's Obi-Wan with that pose that he does whenever he throws those rocks at Vader. And as you guys can see in the background, we get Vader this time with his half helmet, half Anakin face to it. That is an image of the actual figure, not of actual Vader itself. Both box designs that Hot Toys has organized for this figure has been amazing, both for him and also for the Vader figure itself. So I think those are the two best box designs I have ever seen for any specific figure. Now we get to Obi-Wan himself. Pretty much just looking at him for the first time. Oh yeah, he looks absolutely amazing. I really like this figure a lot. The outfit looks great. The face sculpt is as good as I thought it would be. It even looks a little bit better compared to the promo images. That's why whenever I take a look at promo images, I always like to say my final thoughts, because sometimes their imagery, the Hot Toys images and their lighting that they use for specific figures doesn't really reflect how good the actual head sculpt could be in person. So to me, the head sculpt does look a little bit better than it did in the promo pics, but obviously we will talk about it more in detail later on. So after a good start with the figure, it looks great. Now we'll get to the accessories. We'll do the figure in detail. We'll do a couple of side-by-side comparisons. And of course, at the end, we'll do posing and final thoughts. Okay guys, we get to the accessories, where we have a lot of things going on here. And again, as I mentioned before, this is a deluxe version figure. I'll explain the difference a little bit later on, but this is a deluxe. Thankfully, I was able to fit pretty much everything in this imagery right here. So we get to the display base, where it's pretty much the rocky background on that fight scene that he has with Vader at the end. I completely forget the name of the planet. As I mentioned before, I'm not good with that, but I really love this display base a lot. The texture of the rocks, it feels legit. The look to it is really good as well. My only concern is that I don't know where I'll be able to stand Obi-Wan. I feel like the actual background is too kind of like high low. There's not an actual like flat pretty much stand, you know, to put the figure on. So that's one of my concerns. As you guys were able to see there, we also get a clear stick where pretty much everything is going to go, from the, you know, from the waist clamp to the actual floating rocks itself. Everything's going to go here. But I like this display base a lot. It looks absolutely amazing in my personal opinion. And then, as I mentioned before, so we get these floating rocks from that scene where he throws all those rocks at Vader on the fight scene. So pretty much they have the clear sticks that are going to go inside that flight pole on the main display base. We'll put those together a little bit later on whenever I do the posing and final thoughts part of the video. But I think these look good. I think the texture matches what we got with the actual main display base, so I think they look amazing. No issues with it at all. Sometimes you wish that they would make these type of display base even more legit, but obviously there's no way we can get floating rocks, so I think that's pretty good in my personal opinion. We do also get his robe or cloth, whatever you guys want to call it. I really like this a lot. It's got this kind of hard texture to it, and it seems like it has a lot of wiring. Absolutely, we will try this on the figure a little bit later on, and most likely I will keep this on the figure in my personal opinion. I feel like he wore this throughout most of the series, so to me this is something that is not going to get in the way of me posting the figure, so I'll definitely keep it. We also do get some hand displays. We get a total of 8 hands. So as you guys can see, the 2 on the right, this one right here is for him to hold on to his lightsaber in a very specific way. This is a first for me. And then the 3rd hand right there is for his iconic pose. The other 2 are just wide open, relaxed hands that either you guys can use it just to pretty much pose it in different ways, but I would say also you can use it to use the force as well. The skin texture is absolutely perfect with these hands. You guys can see the vein work and all the motion lines, and as well as skin lines. The fingernails look perfect in my personal opinion. And again, that 4th hand right there is a very unique way to pose a lightsaber, because the regular ones are pretty much a closed fist with the hole where you insert the lightsaber, but that is a very iconic pose, and I will definitely be using it a little bit later on whenever I do post the figure. But to me, the skin texture is great on all of these hands, and I really like the posing of it. And then the other 4 hands, so the 2 on the right side are going to be for him either to hold on to his gun or pistol that he has, and then also to the droid that we will talk about a little bit later on. No issues with them whatsoever. As I mentioned before, the skin texture is great. They match the figure, and I really like the motion lines that they've done. And then these 2 hands right there are going to be for him to hold on to his lightsaber. We don't get actual close fists. I think I'm okay with that. I think what we've got is good enough. Maybe more forced posing hands would have been better, but I think with this is good. I really can't complain about it at all. It gives us options to pose the figure, and again, the skin texture is absolutely amazing for these hands, so no issues with it whatsoever, in my personal opinion. We do get also more accessories. So on the left side we get pretty much his on the right side we get his droid. So please correct me if I'm wrong. I think this droid belonged to Leia and she allowed Obi-Wan to keep it at the end, but again, it's been a couple of years since the series came out, so I really forget. We also do get a hologram pretty much figure set. It's Bail Organa. He's the one in this hologram, and all 4 figures have had at least one hologram, and so I guess we continue that trend. And then on the left side, as I mentioned before, we get a pistol, kind of his gun that he uses throughout his gun that he uses throughout the series as well, especially when he's fighting Jedis at the beginning of the series trying to save Leia. So I would say cool accessories, no question about it. And then these accessories come with the deluxe version. So we get the box where he keeps the lightsabers. He keeps his, and as well as Anakin's, which to me it's such a sad scene, because to me, if he still has Anakin's old lightsabers, like, yeah, he wants to remember his old friend, obviously, but I feel like there's a part of him that still believes that Anakin can come back at some point, so that's why he keeps that lightsaber. The box in itself, by the way, we also get that cloth right there that it goes inside the box to put in the lightsabers. The box itself does have this weathering to it, where because it is in the sand, right on, I believe it's again Tatooine if I'm not mistaken, it has that weathering to it, all those kind of dirty type of paint applications that they've done to it, but I think it could have been even more dirtier in my personal opinion, but no issues with that whatsoever. I'm glad that it came with the figure. And then of course we get the lightsabers. So as always with these Star Wars figures, I like to finish off with the lightsabers because I want to go ahead and test the lightsaber. I never have great expectations with these. The light up effect is never good. We get the same poses, we get the straight lightsaber, and then the motion lightsaber, and then we get a lightsaber piece with the cable and without the cable. One is to turn on, and then the other one, I guess you guys can put it either on his belt, or if you guys want to post the figure with that, just so that way there's no cables going around. It is completely up to you guys. So now let's go ahead and try on the lightsaber. So I do have my USB cable connected to that light box that we always get to with all these Star Wars characters. And looking at the lightsaber itself, I gotta tell you guys, this has to be the best one that I've seen so far for any Star Wars character. As you guys can see, even in my hand, the lighting reflects very well. From a scale of 1 to 10, I think this is an 8, in all honesty. It's not perfect. We all know the lightsabers are super bright, and I don't think this one gets there yet, but I will say this, it lights up pretty good. Maybe my lighting on the camera doesn't show that. I apologize, but I promise you guys, I'm seeing this in person. This lightsaber effect is the best one that I've ever seen for any Star Wars figure. Again, it's still not perfect. It has some work to do, but I would say at least it looks pretty good, and I can live with this. That's pretty much what I can say. Hopefully they can keep improving on that, although I really don't have a lot of faith in Hot Toys. I think it all depends on what figure they release, but yeah, looking at this one right now, I'm satisfied with it. I like it. It lights up pretty good. Still some work to do, but without question, it at least keeps me satisfied. At least I don't have to complain about this part of the figure at all. So this is pretty much it for the accessories, guys. Liked everything that it comes with. I don't think there's anything that they've missed. If there is something, please let me know in the comments, but for now, I like what we have so far. Definitely off to a good start. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we get to Kenobi. As I mentioned, whenever I unbox the figure, I like what we have. This head sculpt, I've heard a lot of different opinions about it. To me, this is a great head sculpt. I can't go perfect. There's something that's missing. I don't know what it is, but I really like it a lot. Now, this wasn't the initial product. They had released another lightsaber where the figure looked too old. His eyes looked like they were swollen, and the skin texture was too bright, in my personal opinion. To me, they fixed it. This is by far a better head sculpt compared to what we had gotten in the prototype. Now, these people are lazy, man. As you guys can see here, the skin texture does not match when it comes to the neck and the face sculpt. So you can tell that the neck is with the old figure because that head sculpt had a lighter skin tone to it. This one is a little bit of a darker, which matches, in my personal opinion, the figure, and it's better. But obviously they didn't switch the neck, so that transition is a little bit weird. The skin texture is not the same for both the neck and the face sculpt, but as far as the face sculpt itself, I like what we have so far. Now, right now, I'm bringing out the the last head sculpt that we got for Obi-Wan. So this one, please correct me if I'm wrong, it was used for the Mandalorian armor Kenobi from the Clone Wars and also his regular Clone Wars figure. I thought that head sculpt was really good. I like the skin texture, the hair, his eyes, but I really wasn't a big fan of his facial expressions, especially with the lips. To me, the new Kenobi figure, in my personal opinion, it has the better head sculpt. Skin texture, I think it's the same for both, but I do believe that his eyebrows are a little bit thicker with the new Kenobi, and also his facial hair is thicker, as well as the lips. They're done better in my personal opinion. So to me, it is the better head sculpt than the Clone Wars one. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think about these head sculpts and which one do you think is better. I'm going with the new Kenobi one. To me, I just like the hair. I like the skin texture, the facial expression, the rotating eyes that it has. It looks really good. I really like it a lot. So I would say without question, we're off to a good start with that, because again, the head sculpt to me is great, but not perfect. I don't think I see you win from every single angle. Looking at the figure straight, yes, but probably from the sides, no. Now the outfit, same thing, it looks great. The fabric that they use for this gray suit, it looks great. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. We do get the white undersuit that you guys were able to see. That looks pretty good as well. The belt itself, I think it is made out of pleather, although to me, I've never had any issues with pleather being used on belts. You guys are able to remove the belt if you guys want to. I'm not gonna do it. I really don't feel the need to do it. We do have an option to hold on to the lightsaber right there on the right, and then on the left we can put his gun right there if you guys want to. As I mentioned before, I think it is pleather right here on the belt. Please feel free to correct me if I'm mistaken about that. Again, I don't have any issues with the belt being used there. I'm sorry, with pleather being used on the belt. Now, when it comes to the boots or other things where we have to move the figure, then that's where I have an issue. Then his underpants are pretty much color brown. This matches the series. Just kind of wanted to point that out. This white part, I believe it's his socks, although they're not made out of fabric. These are actually made out of plastic, which I'm a little bit surprised about that. And then his boots as well, thank goodness they did not choose to use pleather. They're made out of actual plastic, so you don't have to worry about this thing being damaged at all. But I'm already finding an issue. Sadly, I don't show any articulation or any joints between the ankles, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to move this. Again, we'll touch that more on that a little bit later on whenever I go over articulations, but that's already an issue to me. I don't see any joints. I don't see any type of division between the ankles and the foot, so it's going to be a struggle to pose the figure. But overall, I like what we have so far. This figure looks great. I like the outfit and the face sculpt on its own. There's not too much more that I can talk about it. To me, it looks good, but I did want to go ahead and add the rope and also show you guys the rotating eyes, so that way we can give a different look to Mr. Obi-Wan. Okay, so now we have switched the rotating eyes for him to turn on to the left. And then also we've gone ahead and added his robe. So the robe itself, as I mentioned before, it has wiring on the back, on the sides, and also on the hood. So it is a pretty hard fabric that it has to it, so it can get pretty much wrinkled very easily. So you guys really want to be careful the way that you post this and make sure that not to lie this guy down a lot, because again, that fabric will wrinkle a lot. As I mentioned before, the hood, that's wiring, that does have wiring, so we'll be able to post the figure, but obviously it takes time to adjust. So I'll probably do that off camera and show you guys a little bit later on whenever we do the posing part of the figure on its own. But I like what we have here. As I mentioned before, the whole outfit is absolutely amazing. With the head sculpt, to check the rotating eyes, pretty much you guys have to go take off the whole head sculpt and on its own, and then you guys can go underneath, so you guys wouldn't remove the hair. But as I mentioned before, this looks pretty good. Let me do another look for the rotating eyes. Okay, dude, how about this one right here? So by you guys using this look right here, now we have an angry Obi-Wan. To me, if you want to pose him fighting Darth Vader from this specific series, this is the look to go for. This shows an angry Obi-Wan. Obviously, you guys want to tilt the head in a specific way to show like an angrier look to him. But man, I'm really having I really like this head sculpt a lot. It looks absolutely amazing to me. Okay, now back to normal. So I kept the eyes this way because to me it's just so cool. So I'm gonna keep it that way. But we did go ahead and remove his robe because I did want to take a look at articulation. So with the boots, as I mentioned before, there is no unfortunately there is no articulations in between the ankles. The whole boot with the sock does rotate, but again, there is no actual articulations with the ankles, and that is a big issue to me. Even though I like the fact that they didn't include any type of pleather. I mean, how the hell am I supposed to how am I supposed to display this guy if I want to kind of have him in a fighting position? Because now if I just move the legs like I'm moving him right now, the ankle won't move at all, so it's going to be very, very difficult to pose him. Now the outfit does get in between when it comes to the knee articulations, although since there is no wiring, I guess you guys can kind of bend the clothing. So as you guys are able to see right there, I'm able to bend the knee even with the clothing, but I don't think you guys want to damage the outfit in any way. The good thing is that this guy does move in the waist. As you guys can see, it moves front there, it moves to the back there, and then to the sides just a little bit, not a lot, but it moves good enough for me to pose the figure. And then as far as the hands itself, so thankfully the hands are very flexible, so you guys are able to move it all the way to the back till there, pretty much to the front till there. Maybe you guys can flip the whole arm around, but because of the outfit, it might be a struggle. I don't see the need to do it, but I guess I wanted to show you guys that. And then in between the elbow, it bends very well, and as you guys can see, the outfit won't get damaged in any way in this specific part of the body, so that is a good thing. Same thing for the sides. The hand moves very nicely as well, so I would say with the hands, I have no issues with it. It moves very well, so won't have any issues when it comes to posting that. And then the head itself, it does turn around pretty nicely. It is connected on a ball joint with the neck area itself, and then it does go to the front till there, to the back till there, and then to the sides just a little bit. I think good enough for me to be able to pose the figure. So when it comes to the body, arms, and head sculpt, it's great. Articulations are good. But the bad thing is those ankles. That is going to be a big time struggle when it comes to posing the figure, because not being able to to move the ankles, it's a struggle. I'm not able to pose the figure as much as I want. I'll see how I make him work a little bit later on, but yeah, a big issue to me, the fact that they did not include any type of joints right there in the ankle area. But as far as everything else, the figure on its own with the articulations, to me it's good enough. I like what we have so far. Okay, and now for a quick side-by-side. So we have Kenobi from his own series on the left, and then we have the Mandalorian armor Kenobi on the right. Sadly, these are the only two Obi-Wan Kenobis that I have at this time. I really wanted that Revenge of the Sith Kenobi. As I've always mentioned, never get old Hot Toys figures. They'll always do a 2.0. I'm expecting to get a 2.0 eventually for Revenge of the Sith Kenobi, so hopefully that comes soon so I can get him. I do also want to get his Attack of the Clones and the Phantom Menace look. This guy has had so many different looks that I really want to collect all Obi-Wans, and every single version of him is cool in its own way. So I also want to get the regular Clone Wars version. So many Kenobis that I can get. These are the two that I have so far. They're both really nice in its own way. Now obviously the Kenobi on the left is my favorite figure because it's the actual Kenobi outfit. The one on the right was he was hiding and he was pretty much pretending to be an actual Mandalorian trooper. So I guess it's a very unique look to him, but I really like his look on the left. The head sculpt is better, the outfit is great, all of the accessories. So without question, the new Kenobi figure is my favorite. But feel free to let me know, those of you guys who are collectors and have more versions of Kenobi, please let me know if you guys think this is the best Kenobi we have ever gotten. Based on images, I want to go with yes, but man, that Revenge of the Sith figure still stands out very nicely based on images that I've seen. But like the fact that I have these two Kenobis, can't wait to collect more in the near future. And then now we have Vader. So Vader from this specific series. Again, this is 2 of 4 figures that I've gotten for this specific series. The other 2 being the Grand Inquisitor and also Reva. I can't wait to pose these guys together. I'll try my best to do a couple of poses between the two because it's just worth it. That fight scene at the end was as iconic as it gets, with him being unmasked and having that conversation after the events of Revenge of the Sith. Some people didn't think that the series was great. To me, it had its flaws, but I thought it was good. I thought Anakin was phenomenal as Vader. Hayden was good as Anakin and Vader, and Ewan was phenomenal well also as Kenobi. Hopefully in the near future we get more series or possibly movies between these two, because to me they have an amazing chemistry and I really like both of these figures. To me, these are my two favorite Star Wars figures up to date, and I have a lot of Star Wars figures, but these two are phenomenal in their own way. And again, it just brings back memories from that iconic scenes that they had. They were just phenomenal, and again, very touching and very emotional, especially for all of us Star Wars fans. So happy to have these two in the collection, and so happy to have seen them again act as, you know, Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker slash Darth Vader. Okay guys, we have reached the end of the video. As always, like to pose Obi-Wan in different ways and also give my final thoughts on him. So overall, as I mentioned before, a really good figure, but I can't go grade. I can't lie to you guys, and I'm sorry if I'm being too constant about this, but him not having any type of articulation on his ankles really bothers me. It's made it really hard for me to pose them, and I just don't get how they go do that. It's like either they do this or they make the figure out of full pleather. Either way, it's like we can't seem to get a perfect Hot Toys figure. So again, maybe I'm being a little bit too picky. Again, it's a good figure. I like it a lot. I love the head sculpt, love the outfit, but that did bother me. Everything else is great. Also, the accessories and the display base is good, and I'm glad that I'm able to recreate certain poses that he had throughout the whole series with these accessories. So I think overall it's great. I really really would like to know you guys' opinions on him, on the head sculpt, overall the figure, and also for those of you guys who have collected Obi-Wans before, please let me know if you guys think this is the best Kenobi we have ever gotten. I feel like I'm not qualified enough to give that opinion because I don't have previous Kenobis. All that I can say is that between this one and the Mandalorian armor, Kenobi, this one has the better head sculpt in my personal opinion, but feel free to disagree. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you guys do want to go ahead and purchase Kenobi, I will include the link to Sideshow Collectibles on the description of the video. Also, the links to my Instagram and TikTok are on there. Feel free to follow me there. There is where I post daily images of all of the figures, along with daily updates about my channel and anything that I have coming up. As far as YouTube, guys, I have something new coming up. Memberships are coming to the channel. I will touch more on that in the next videos once I get the full approval from YouTube. Also, you guys are welcome to send super chats and pretty much kind of small donations to the channel. I want to make sure I'm clear about this. Nobody is obligated to do so. This is only if you guys want to. If you guys don't, I promise you guys it's totally fine. But just know that it is an option that you guys will have from now on. But again, as far as the memberships, I'll touch more on that once I get the approval from YouTube. But for now, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the notifications bell so that way you're always updated anytime that I do drop a video here on YouTube. So for now, all that I can say is thank you so much, guys, for always supporting, and thank you for watching this video of the Kenobi unboxing, and I will see you next time.